Today our theme is gratitude. Gratitude, and that's the thing about gratitude. It's like, and that's the thing about life. Life. I mean, life is polarity, and life just, it's often tangled up in one. Like the experiences of, joy and sorrow. The sweetness of love and life, especially in the face of loss and difficulty. I mean, it's just what we're here to experience. Is just how it is, right? And it's not to sort of blow off life's situations with just some nice spiritual teachings, but it just is what it is. And the practice of gratitude, gratitude is not only about when we're happy. Gratitude isn't only about like when things are going great and everything's good. It's like, it's even in the challenging times, and it's maybe even especially in the challenging times, to be aware of what we're grateful for. And even that isn't only being grateful for, the things that are still easeful and good and, feel like a blessing, because we know that it's actually the difficult things that nobody wants them. And it's, we want to get past them as healthily as we can and as quickly as we can. But it's just, it's in those things that there are other gifts. There's other kinds of gifts, other ways that, our hearts are opened, other ways that our, character is deepened, other ways that we, learn about the full spectrum of life. And, even those are things also, of course, to be grateful for, or even just in our hardships, how it highlights, what good we do have, what does support us in the face when we're dealing with things that are difficult. So it's like, again, it's just part of life, but it's, there are things to be grateful for when we're challenged. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And so gratitude, then I think of gratitude as, process of just opening the flow of life, receiving what is, and especially receiving, what it is that we're thinking about, that we're grateful for. And the gratitude then is what flows through us when we open. It's like, then there's the outward flow of gratitude. And gratitude can be, more of an expression that's, more outwardly expressed, like actually saying thank you, doing something to give thanks, to offer back, to kind of pay it forward in that sort of way. But also it's just even can be very completely inward. Just simply the feeling that opens up is the offering, right? It doesn't have, it can be more inward or yin in that way. And we know that just by thinking about something we're grateful for, it changes our brain chemistry. Like to take a moment to sit and think about something you're grateful for, whether it's something big in your life or just the smallest thing, it opens us, it opens our minds, it opens our hearts. So, especially perhaps when we're dealing with something painful or difficult, to count our blessings, we might say, not to, try to avoid the painful feelings or the difficult situation, but just to add in, the reality of what is supporting us. And may we receive that too. May we be nourished by that too, even as we're maybe dealing with something that's very difficult. So gratitude is this, really an ongoing, it's more like almost like a way of being, though it's something that we can actually practice, right? And then in terms of our yoga practice, it maps onto yoga so beautifully, because it's like breathe in and breathe out. So breathe in, receive, breathe out, and offer. Receive what's given, breathe out, and offer your expression. And so we can map on, if we want to practice gratitude, we can bring that into how we're practicing yoga, just let every posture be an offering of our gratitude, and the way we're deepening the breath, we're deepening the flow of life, and so on. So that's what we'll bring into what we do today. And then Thanksgiving happens to be tomorrow, and it's like, I'm always, me, it's like I'm kind of these somewhat arbitrary holidays. I mean, beautiful in their own way. I'm like more of, I'm more of the seasonal moon cycle. Like those feel so real to me because they're about nature. They're happening. And then, Thanksgiving is someone made that up. It's like, let's do that. And it's, somewhat seasonal. It maps onto some of the seasonal observances as well. But regardless, Thanksgiving, as we know, is a loaded holiday. Where they're like, happy and with our loved ones, or we're missing our loved ones, or our loved ones are complicated, or, what I mean? It's like, or we're lonely, or we're like, or we're dealing with really painful things during it's a loaded holiday. We know that. So I think that's what's so great about having, gratitude. I like to do, gratitude's like every day, but to have a practice of gratitude around it, because this is real. Like we can be in our own experience and have our own, relationship to this process, and let's bring it into our, through yoga, into such a real expression. And then it's like, and then Thanksgiving will be what it is. It'll be what it is and what it isn't. And it's just, this is more, deeper and more true in some ways. And then, yes, it can also, of course, support our experience of the Thanksgiving experience, if that's, how that transpires too. So, of course, we'll do back bends today because that's what we do for gratitude. Just kidding. Every pose can be about gratitude, but there's just a way that, opening our hearts has an expression of that. And then just, of course, whatever you're needing from this time today, whatever you're tending to within yourself. Maybe it's more of an inner feeling that you want to hold to and just be close to yourself in that way. Or maybe there's a feeling of, yes, you want to be like offering your gratitude, expressing your gratitude outward and letting it flow through you more deeply in that way. And that's, of course, fine too. Or any other way you want to be in the practice today. If you don't want to think about gratitude, that's also okay. So, all right, well, let's take a seat. Of course, we all have so many things to be thankful for. A relatively privileged lifestyle and good health and all these things. So anyway, again, you're welcome to be as you are, as always. So taking our seat, and as we sit, that's what we're coming to. We line up our posture, our pelvis to the earth, our spine balanced with that. Welcoming and feeling the breath as it moves in and out. And just first settling in. Your exhales help you to soften, to release the weight of your bones, especially the pelvis, into the earth. And receiving then the in-breath more fully, letting it move in, back, and down. So it too, as it flows in, anchoring us deeper into ourselves, deeper into the moment, deeper into the flow of life itself. And it's just a reality that every moment we receive a breath in, life is giving to us what we need fundamentally to be here. Right? The breath is so essential to our existence. And every moment we're given a breath to receive. And so maybe we receive it fully. And then we know, of course, if we can't really hold the breath for long periods of time at all, but we know there's like the subtle ways that we're kind of holding the breath, right? So just the more we can exhale out and empty out the exhale, the more fully we can actually receive the gift that's given in every breath in. And that's the same thing with gratitude. It's like, again, just to just even think of one thing you're grateful for that might be the smallest thing. And there's really like innumerable small things that we can be grateful for, along with the big things that we can be very grateful for. But if we just take a moment to open to that gratitude, it's like opening to, by expressing that feeling, at least feeling that gratitude, and as if exhaling out more fully, then again, we can receive more deeply all the ways that life is supporting us, all the ways that life, we are ultimately enriched by the full spectrum of life. Ultimately, doesn't mean it's, the pain is real and the difficulty is real, and of course, but it's ultimately the full experience to be had, and the gifts are there too. So just opening to this flow, and we'll open ourselves in our practice today, again, on whatever level feels right to you, so that we just are open. Gratitude gives us an open heart. It gives us a fullness, deeper appreciation that just is a stream that continues to nourish, that we need to tend that in a regular way. So welcome a breath in, and exhale. Bring your hands to touch at the heart. And I invite you to take a moment to actually name for yourself one thing that you're grateful for, big or small. They say that it's in the way when the mind looks for what that thing is, it's like that's where the neurochemistry changes. It's so interesting. Take a moment to think of something you're grateful for. And just receive that with a breath in. And the breath out, just the feeling of that gratitude flowing through you back out into life. And so maybe there's something in your life that you want to even let your practice be an expression of gratitude for, like I said, more outward, or just, again, continuing to tend this inner space of the heart. You can carry that through your practice as much as you'd like. We'll open our practice together with 3 OMs. Sounding out OM is another way of expression, right? The way we can sound out and offer through our exhale. So invoking the flow of life, the flow of support that we feel through gratitude with 3 OMs. Inhale fully. Hearts, your hands to your thighs, and let your head open your eyes. All right, we'll come up to hands and knees.